Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom is a game that I have always heard about ever since I was a little kid, but I had never ever gotten the chance to play it before. I had always heard that it was one of the best, most amazing 3D platformers from back in like the PS2 GameCube era, so I am expecting something really great here. And today I'm going to platinum the game and see if it lives up to the hype or not. Before we start the video though, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future videos, and make sure to comment below what kind of games you want to see me play next, because I would love some suggestions. With all that out of the way, let's get into SpongeBob's pants. SpongeBob's game. So this starts off with one of Plankton's usual schemes to get the Krabby Patty secret formula, which of course always goes wrong. This time he tried to create some robots and they have gone completely out of control, so it's going to be our job to stop. Starting off in SpongeBob's house, we learn how to use SpongeBob's different moves and collect some of the things around his house. In here we find our first sock, which will be one of the game's main collectibles, as well as our first golden spatula, which is the main collectible to get in this game. After leaving SpongeBob's house, I headed over to Jellyfish Fields, where Squidward tasks us with getting jelly from King Jellyfish to oil up his nose. This level, being the first one in the game, was of course super basic and easy, and while going through it, and also the entire game, I was making sure to destroy as many tiki boxes as possible to get these shiny coin things, because we were going to need a ton of them over the course of the game. About halfway through the level, we got to play as Patrick for the first time, who has the ability to pick up and throw different objects, which we will need to make use of for lots of different golden spatulas. It wasn't too much longer until I made it up to King Jellyfish, who I absolutely murdered and got the jelly from him along with a trophy. I then headed back to Squidward to lube up his nose, which gave me a trophy for doing so, as well as another trophy for collecting 10 total golden spatulas. First impressions of this game so far were honestly pretty low for me. I wasn't really getting into the game as much as I wanted to so far, and it just kind of felt like the typical 3D platformer, nothing that really blew me away here. With Jellyfish Fields complete, I headed on to the next area, which was downtown Bikini Bottom, where Miss Puff wants us to find 10 steering wheels around the level. The first section of this area wasn't anything difficult, but we did get to play as SpongeBob Roundballs. And towards the end of the section we get to play as Sandy for the first time, who is the last of the 3 playable characters in this game. The next part of this level takes place on these rooftops, where I was able to collect more golden spatulas, socks, and steering wheels. It ends with this lighthouse fight section, which of course wasn't very difficult. From here I got confused of where I was actually supposed to go next, but I was able to find more socks and get a trophy for collecting 15 of them. After lots more running around, I found out I was supposed to go to this area called the Sea Needle, which I really don't know why it took me so long to figure out this is where I was supposed to go. But here I was able to collect the last of the steering wheels and return to Mrs. Puff for a trophy. The next area I headed to was Goo Lagoon. In this level, Larry needs us to line up these mirrors to kill the robot that's on the other side of the lagoon. The first area is pretty straightforward and the mirrors are not hard to line up at all. Also during this part I was able to get a trophy for destroying 100 robots with SpongeBob. Switching to Patrick, I made it to this carnival area where Mr. Krabs wants us to clear up all the robots in the area for a golden spatula. And while doing so, I got the trophy for killing 100 robots with Patrick. Then from there I made it to the last mirror, redirected it to kill the robot, and got the trophy. Next up we have a boss fight with Robot Sandy. This was pretty easy, pretty much just dodge an attack, get flung in the air, hit her, and same thing for 3 more phases. But after beating this, I did get 2 more trophies, one for collecting 25 golden spatulas and one for beating Robot Sandy. We also gained a new ability called the Bubble Bowl, which will be useful for some backtracking. The next place I went to was Rock Bottom. Here, Mrs. Puff needs us to collect artwork that was taken from the museum. I wasn't a huge fan of this area, it was all about sneaking around, which honestly was just mostly annoying. The next area though, which was the museum, was actually pretty fun. After exiting the museum, I was able to get the last piece of artwork and return it to Mrs. Puff for the trophy. Next I went to Sand Mountain, where all I had to do was slide down all 3 trails in this area and beat the time trials for another golden spatula. The first one was super easy, but the last 2 did actually give me some trouble, and both of them came down to the last second. But after doing all 3 of these, I got the trophy. After cleaning up some more golden spatulas in this area, I went to the next area, which was actually another boss fight. This time around, it was against Robot Patrick. This fight was a bit tougher than the Robot Sandy, but again, didn't take me too long to beat at all, and once I did, I got another trophy. The next level I went to was called SpongeBob's Dream, which was actually pretty tough. Not too far into this level, I got my 50th golden spatula, which turned out to give me a trophy for collecting it. There was also just this one section that I just kept dying over and over again, but after collecting all the golden spatulas in this area, I got another trophy for doing so. The next location I went to was Kelp Forest, where Mrs. Puff was here once again. I don't don't know why Miss Puff is like omnipresent in this game, but this time she wanted us to find some missing campers. Not too long into this level, I killed this cowboy robot, which earned me a trophy for destroying every type of robot in the game. The rest of Kelp Forest was honestly super confusing and annoying to get through. This place felt like a complete maze at times. Even after making it all the way through this area, I still had one of the kids missing and had to go back to track them down. But after I did that, I returned to Mrs. Puff and got the trophy for beating this level. The next place I headed to was the Mermaid Lair. Our goal here was essentially just to reach the end of the level and deactivate the main computer system of the cave. I really did enjoy this level, that is until I came to this stupid ball minigame. The stupid little minigame garbage took me way too long to beat. While I was here though, I did collect another sock, which was my 40th and earned me a trophy for collecting half of them. Then after a few more attempts, I was able to beat the ball torture and got a trophy for doing so. With this finally out of the way, I was able to progress further into the level where the boss Prawn was waiting for me. This guy was super easy to beat, literally just run till he opens up and then throw a bubble at him and repeat 2 more times. Beating this guy did award me with a trophy though. The next level was the Flying Dutchman's graveyard, where we had to help him reclaim his ship. This was another level that I did find very enjoyable and had some really fun set pieces and platforming sections. On this pirate ship we just had to activate 4 of the cannons to get the ship back, and after hitting the 4th one I got the trophy for it. Not long after that, collecting another golden spatula got me a trophy for collecting 75 of them in total. All that was left to do in this level was a boss fight with the Flying Dutchman. This boss was probably one of the easiest in the game. You just dodge his attack and then lasso his tail and boom, defeated another boss and earned another trophy. With this area complete, it was finally time to enter the chum bucket and defeat the final boss. This was Robot Spongebob, which was actually a bit tricky, especially compared to all the other bosses in the game. But at the same time, it was also pretty simple. Just dodge his attacks and then attack the glowing weak points on Robot Spongebob. This took me a couple of tries to beat, but eventually I was able to beat him and get another trophy. The second half of this boss takes place inside of him. Pause. Where we just have to do some basic platforming and get our bubble rocket onto some electric parts, Death Star style. And doing this actually gave me another trophy. 2 trophies for one boss is kinda weird, but hey, I'll take it. And yeah, that's the end of the main story for this game, and all I have left to do is backtrack and collect all the socks and golden spatulas that I missed. But first I decided to go to Squidward's house for an easy trophy for talking to him 10 times as SpongeBob. Then from here was just a matter of pulling up a guide and tracking down all the stuff that I had missed. The golden spatulas were super easy to find since I was only missing a few and they're really easy to track, but the socks were a bit harder. Mostly to find these I just went through each level in full because there's no actual way to track which socks you've already found. This took me some time, but eventually I came across the last sock I needed, which was in Squidward's dream. After collecting all the socks, I headed back to Patrick to turn them in for a bunch of golden spatulas. From here, the only thing I had left to do was give Mr. Krabs his shiny coin things for the last golden spatulas, but he needs a lot of them and I didn't have enough, so I needed to go and grind some of these out. Luckily, this isn't hard at all and only took me a couple of minutes. The way to do this is by going to this part of Goo Lagoon, destroying these 3 groups of tiki boxes, and then jumping into the water and repeating the process for as long as you need. After collecting 17,000 coins, I headed back to Mr. Krabs to turn them in.
Alright, this should be it after these 2. Okay, seems like it goes up by more than 500 each time.
And yeah, turns out I miscalculated, so I had to go back for even more. This didn't take me long though, and I was able to head back to Mr. Krabs and get the platinum trophy.
Okay, last one for real this time. Go super ultra mega spatula something. 100% SpongeBob and Neptune spatula, the platinum trophy for Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom.
So, does SpongeBob Big Guy Pants OK Battle for Bikini Bottom live up to the hype? Well, I don't know really. It's a fine 3D platformer and all, and definitely gets better as the game goes on, but I don't think it really gives up to the hype that I had always heard about it. I think my main issue with this game is just that sometimes the movement feels really slow to me, and I wish that it felt a bit faster, I guess. But I mean, I can't pretend I didn't enjoy my time with the game, it's just that it did not impress me to the level that I thought it would. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching it. This is my shortest video ever for sure so far, but I wanted to play this game, so I thought why not make a smaller video on it, because there's no way this game was gonna be a 30-minute video anyway. But yeah, if you're still here, make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment below what kind of games you want to see me play next, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.